People always ask me to provide them a list of times and places I'm going to be when I'm speaking, and so that's what I'm trying to do in this video today, is to let you know about a handful of consequential activism training classes that I'm putting on throughout Washington State over the next month, as well as a Freedom Fest rally that's going on in Olympia. So watch this video to learn more. Thank you for watching. My name's Glen Morgan, and this is We the Govern. So we do have some consequential activism training classes coming up. I've already been putting these on in other parts of the state, down in Lewis County, Pierce County, and up in Marysville, up in Snohomish County. So there's a lot of training that I've already been doing, and so I wanted to start letting people know about some of these events coming up. And for those of you who live in Eastern Washington and you're interested in attending, I think you will like going to these events. The first one's going to be on February 19th. It's going to be in Spokane. The details are down below. We actually have had to change a venue here because the original venue we were going to use could only hold 150 people. Looks like the interest is a lot more than that. So we've had to move it to another location so that it can accommodate just a larger group of people. I do want to point out there that if you've already ordered your box lunches, I'm being told by the organizers that you will still get them at the new venue, and parking is going to be a little bit easier, and you'll have an opportunity to come there and meet apparently hundreds of other people who care about the same issues that you do. The one thing I'm going to point out, though, in the Spokane event, there's actually 2 training sessions I'm doing. One is consequential activism to start out with. It starts in the morning, goes through the afternoon. Again, details below. And that is that's the same basic class I'm teaching around the state, but afterwards I'm also doing a couple hours on helping people with canvassing so that they get some canvass training for basically auditing the voter rolls for the questionable voters that we've been discovering in some of the voting roll efforts as part of the Washington Voter Research Project. So you kind of get 2 of them if you want to be there all day, but the first part is the consequential activism and the other part will be later in the day. The second one is the next day down in Frankling County in the city of Richland, which is located in Frankling County, and a lot of Benton County people will also be coming to this event, and this has a ceiling of about 200, I think maybe 250 would be pushing it, but around that number is the largest number that we can, I think, accommodate there. They will be having food when you show up at that church, and again, the information is linked down below, and you can get a little bit more the details there. I'm looking forward to seeing some people in Eastern Washington. If you live in Ellensburg or you live in Wenatchee and they seem like too far to go for these events, don't worry. I'm sure I'm coming back out to Eastern Washington to do some more, but this was just the first go around that I'm doing over there. So I anticipate a lot of people to be engaged and involved, and as always, I look for your feedback to tell me if I've missed anything or if you want a little bit and a little bit of other details for me to go over. The third one I'm doing is in Mason County on February 26th. I think that's going to be a little bit smaller venue, but if you live near Mason County, I'll have the link down below of the people you need to contact if you want to go to that event as well. Again, I think this consequential activism training is going to be very beneficial for anybody who wants to get involved and be engaged in the process, but they want to do more than, they're not necessarily interested in just doing work with parties or with politicians or campaigns. So very specifically, this is just kind of give you an idea from some of the training that I've already done. I will focus on teaching things like how to file PDC complaints and how to use the Public Disclosure Commission website. And I do a live complaint while I'm there, so you can actually see me file one, take some of the mystery out of it. I will be teaching people how to better use the Public Records Act and how to process records and use them to good effect, how to file a petition to change a rule to challenge WACs, how to do ballot title challenges as well as filing initiatives, and how that process works and when it makes sense, when it doesn't, how to recruit whistleblowers, innovative activism, doing videos, writing articles, setting up websites. There's a lot of good stuff there that I think people really enjoy. I really set these up to be interactive, a lot of Q&A back and forth, frequent breaks so that you have the opportunity to network with the other people who are in your area going to this event. And the point is to bring people together so that they become more effective activists. It isn't just about me. It's about you getting there, learning some critical information. This is the flyer in the white here. This is the flyer they're handing out down in Frankling County at the Richland, Washington location. So at that Island View Church, you'll see there. And like I said, I think they're cutting that off at about 250 or 200 for the food and just space there. So make sure you sign up, get in early, and I'm very excited to meet a bunch of activists around the state, especially new ones, and help them get up to speed to hopefully become a little bit more effective in this process. And it's the whole point of doing consequential activism, that it teaches you how to be more effective. So once again, February 19th in Spokane, February 20th in Richland, and February 26th in Mason County. Those are the next 3 that I'm doing. If you don't live anywhere near there and you live up in Bellingham or you live down in Vancouver or Clark County, and that's too far for you to drive, and I think it might be, then don't worry, because I do expect doing similar consequential activism training classes near where you live. We just haven't set the dates or the venues yet, and I was really just trying to cover the next couple in this video because that's what people are always asking me to do. And a couple of videos I put out have been actually relatively tight on when the video came out and when the training was on. So if you're going to be interested in doing these, I do encourage you, though, to sign up early. The links are down below. If you can't get in or you couldn't make the cutoff, I'm sure I'll be out in these places again in the near future, but this is just an opportunity for you to come and I think get a lot out of it. The people who have been going, I've had really good feedback so far, so the people who have been attending them feel like they're getting quite a bit out of it, and I think you will as well if you want to be involved as a political activist moving forward. The next thing I want to talk about, again, less than a month away, is a rally and freedom festival that's going to be going on at the state capitol. I speak at a lot of these events, and I have for years, all around Washington state. I am not a big fan, nor do I get involved in planning a lot of these rallies. And generally, I like rallies, but I think we oftentimes tend to spend too much time organizing a lot of rallies. And rallies, if you can't get a lot of people there, they tend to lose the impact that probably the organizers were hoping to have. But it tends to be the first thing that activists want to do, and a lot of groups like to do rallies. And the state capitol is a good place to do it. After all, that's the whole point. That's the seat of government. Even though we're doing this weird Zoom session once again, in theory, this is still the center of the power in Washington. It is our state capitol, and you as a citizen have a right to hold a rally there and make an impact. So that's the whole point behind this one. It was kind of the intention, and the reason why I got involved in just helping the sponsors of this particular event is to consolidate a bunch of rallies so that rather than having one every weekend, you have one big one on one day, and that's a much more effective process. So it says G.R.I.T. It's government resistance. It impedes tyranny. That's the name of this particular event. But I do want to point out that the purpose of this rally wasn't to have a bunch of boring speakers up there talking for hours. The point is to actually have a lot of tables out. There'll be a few speakers, but a lot of tables of various groups around the state that are concerned about the mandates, are concerned about their freedom. They're wanting to restore the freedom that's being taken away by the governing class in Washington right now. They don't like Governor Inslee's abuse of his office and the powers that he's basically bestowed on himself in this eternal state of emergency for the last 2 years. And this is all these different groups coming together, and it gives you a chance to meet a bunch of like-minded people, find groups that you like, and maybe you don't like certain groups and you like others. This is your chance to meet them. We also got the permit, or I should say the organizers got the permit that would allow them to sell food and to have booths that you sell. So if you're interested in selling merchandise that a crowd like this might be interested in, I'm sure there's a lot of parameters and restrictions on that, but if you are interested in that, do contact these organizers, because you can also get a special booth set up. If you're selling something on campus, that costs you a little bit more, but it's still an opportunity to be in front of a lot of people. They're looking at about, I think if they don't get 5,000 people, they're probably going to be disappointed, and it'll probably be more. I do encourage everybody, you want to carpool to an event like this and try to get down there early. If you're trying to show up right on the dollar, right on the money at noon, you might have a hard time finding a parking spot. So you're going to want to carpool down. Parking, it gets limited, especially when you get over 5,000 people in an area, and if it gets up to 10,000, it's particularly, it gets more and more difficult to find a space to park. So give yourself the time to find a place to park, carpool with other people so that there's fewer cars out there parking, and then it'll give you the chance to walk down. If you happen to have a bus or something like that, get together with your friends, come down on a bus. That kind of thing just makes it a little bit easier. But there'll be live music. You can go to the website. I have linked down below. You can find out all the changing information and updated information about what's going on for this event. I'm pretty sure if you're interested in these things, this is probably the one you want to go to. And look for me. I'll try to be there. I'll try to even set up a booth so that you can come talk to me and meet me at the booth. And I'm excited to just meet a lot of other people around the state who are sharing the similar concerns that I have and others. And it gives you an opportunity. We can all network together, and you're not alone, which I think is one of the points that is oftentimes lost when we organize these rallies. That's kind of the point of having a rally. There's a lot of people sponsoring it. This is just half the sponsors currently now. I just took a screen capture of the website. There's a lot more below this. So If you want to be involved, there's a lot of politicians involved, a lot of groups that we're familiar with, a lot of people that are going to be there at the campus. So if you want to demonstrate resistance to Inslee and you want to kind of show a force where a bunch of people all get together, this is it. It should be fun. It should be a place you can take your family. It's not it should just be a really good time. There should have food. There should be booths. You should have the opportunity to meet lots of other people, thousands of other people who share your concerns. And again, that's a big part of having these rallies. Know you're not alone. And rather than having just, again, a bunch of them, I think that having one big one on March 5th is going to make a lot of sense. So I look forward to seeing you there. I hope to see you there. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to basically send another message to Inslee, again, that we're not happy with both his incompetence and corruption, but also with his just disaster of how he's running the state right now. So I look forward to seeing everybody there. And if I don't see you at the Consequential Activism classes, seeing you at the rally will be also very good. If you want to learn more, please go to wethegovern.com. Again, as I mentioned, all the people links are down below for all 3 of those training classes and also for the rally. So definitely take advantage of that. And just remember, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with others. The more it gets out there, that's the only way it gets sent out. I'm sure I'm a little shadow banned at times, so this at least gets the word out to other people. And as always, I think being an activist is an important part of making a difference in your community. But in the end, the future belongs to those who show up.